And now we welcome those of you who saw the Bengals beat Pittsburgh today 38-31 in a thriller at Heinz Field. We welcome you to Kansas City, just the third play of the game for the Chiefs, facing 3rd down and 9. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and Bonnie Bernstein. And a whistle. No play on this occasion. The Broncos at 9-2 on the year.
Number 61 defense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Broncos having already beaten Kansas City 30-10 some 10 weeks back. And this Denver defense is the best in the league against the rush. Trevor Price, Myers, Warren, and Courtney Brown on that line. A strong front seven. DJ Williams in his 2nd year out of Miami. And Champ Bailey, who ran one back on Thanksgiving Day. A Drew Bledsoe pass, as he now has 2 returns on the season for scores. 3rd down and 4 after the penalty against Denver. Another flag is down as Green just fires it incomplete. Ebenezer Ekuban was in the face of Trent Green.
Offside. Number 98 defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
How about that? Back-to-back 5-yard mark-offs gives the Chiefs the 1st. Bill Levy on the crew today, the referee.
Well, you're playing aggressive defense. The Denver Broncos like the blitz. They like to move around, so they're antsy, they're nervous. Good job by Trent Green. A lot of quarterbacks, or most quarterbacks, do not use their cadence enough.
There's Larry Johnson with a brief glimpse of daylight for 5 yards. And what about the Chiefs going against this Denver D?
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, it's just as simple. Their tackles are back. Willie Rolfe and John Wilburn did not play in the first game, did not allow Trent Green to go down the field when he had the chances. Denver's defense, keep it simple, and they want to keep it simple because Kansas City moves around and they shift. They do that stuff, and you can get confused. So the Denver Broncos do not want to miss an assignment on defense.
It's 2nd down and 5, and they go right back to Larry Johnson. And he has the 1st. This Denver defense, you may have seen it a moment ago with the graphic, has not given up an opening drive touchdown or field goal for that matter in 13 games.
That they score a lot on their first drives. Their defense is good against the run. They run the football well. 9-2 is probably the worst record you can have with those statistics behind you. But Trent Green, and Jim, to go back to it, drawing them off sides 2 times. If you're a defensive lineman, what are you going to do now? You're going to
be a little careful.
Yeah, you're going to be careful. So you slow down the pass rush right away by using the snap count.
1st and 10 for the Chiefs, who have, in fact, at home this season, driven it down the field 4 of 5 times on their first drive. And they get it over to Dunn. That was a tough one. There was a heavy blitz.
Heavy blitz and a really good throw by Trent Green. Ian Gold has already figured in 3 plays. Watching coming from the right, gets right in the face of Trent Green. And this Denver defense, we saw it last Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. They move around a lot. They are fast. They're confident, cocky, whatever you want to say. They got everything going their way so far this year.
They've got Gonzalez in the slot to the right on 2nd down and 7 in Denver territory. Johnson looking for something to open up on that left side. And he is down at the 44. Michael Myers, he broke away from. A gain of 2, and Larry Johnson, 4 straight 100-yard games. Now, over the last 4 weeks, rushing for more 569 yards than anyone in the league. And 5 touchdowns.
Well, what Larry Johnson brings to this offense that Priest Holmes could not is just power and more toughness. And the last run showed it. Trevor Price had him around the legs, but he's big and strong. He ripped right through it and picked up a few yards.
And you saw he's already outrushed his total on that Monday night game at Denver, week 3 of the season. Quick pass, and short of the 1st, the big heavy hit by the rookie Dominique Foxworth on Chris Horn stops the Chiefs 2 yards shy of the 1st.
Denver loves to do this. Look at all the people at the line of scrimmage. They come on the blitz, and what they make you do is change your route to the outside. You got to go to a short route, and the quarterback has to get rid of it quick. They make the tackle, and now you're punting.
Boy, they thought about it for a while, but they eventually bring out the punt team of Dustin Colquitt and company.
You think about it, because, oh, we could get a first down. Oh, that's right, if we don't get it. Oh, so good decision by Dick Vermeil. Punt the football.
Oh, hold on a minute. They whistle this one to a stop.
Timeout, Denver.
Timeout, Denver. That's their first charge. Timeout.
So
30 seconds.
4th and 2 was the situation. Mike Shanahan's team had to take that timeout. Let's go down to Bonnie.
Hey there, Jim. When talking to Trent Green, he said one of the big keys for the Chiefs today is not falling behind early. He said, look at Denver's games against us earlier in the year and against Philadelphia and Oakland. Denver got up early, and then their defense just started teeing off on guys and blitzing all the time. He said Denver is a very confident, borderline arrogant team, and when things are going their way, boy, are they going to let you know about it. And then Green said, but, you know, last year when we beat them here 45-17, you couldn't hear a word out of them. Needless to say, Jim, Trent would like to see a repeat performance of that today.
Well, Bonnie, all that is true, but I want you to know you're down the sideline and cold. Jim's got 2 heaters by him. He's got a blanket wrapped around him, and
an electric blanket at that.
He's just not as tough as you.
4th down and 2. End over end boot, and gets the perfect hop. Oh, he almost ran it into the end zone, but it's down. They're going to say first touched at the 5-yard line. That was Sammy Knight, who had the momentum carrying him on in. Boomer Grigsby was down there too. It was Grigsby who held it. How about the emotion?
That's what we got to do today. We've been going in here about 7 years. I promise you that. We got to go out there and prove we're the best. Take care of your job and take care of this house. Any means necessary. Kill the instinct. Just win. Remember what they did to us here last year. Kill the instinct. G-3. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Boy, after a long conference, look at him stepping it out to the 20. They're going to rule that a touchback. And this might draw an immediate challenge.
It's Sammy Knight. When he caught it, did he touch the end zone line before he got rid of the football? Special teams, you've got to know the rules.
Try to get rid of it here to Grigsby.
And he touched it. Good call by the officials.
No challenge from the Chiefs sideline. Denver with its first snap of the game. To Rod Smith on the slant, and a first down out to the 33. Jake Plummer in 4 career games at Kansas City. 1 as an Arizona Cardinal, 3 as a Bronco. He's 0-4 in his career here. Nayland, 5 times a Pro Bowler, but in Plummer's mind, still underrated around the league. And Mike Anderson coming off perhaps the worst game of his career. In some circles, they'll tell you that. Costly fumble at the Cowboys, 30 yards rushing, but he has had, outside of last week, a very solid season. First down and setting up a screen to Anderson. Great blocking. And Anderson running free at the 40, 30. It gets past the Chiefs in the secondary, and it's a touchdown, Denver.
Exactly what Denver wanted. Of course, they want a long touchdown, but Mike Shanahan told us last night, we're going to come out throwing the football because they expect us to run it. And that time he caught the Kansas City Chiefs in a blitz. The defense over-aggressive. Nobody covering the running back, and Mike Anderson, you said it, Jim, he's motivated today, and Mike Shanahan loves players that are motivated. He thought he would come out and play well, and what a start for him.
Boy, he broke away from Greg Wesley, who was coming off a big game against the Patriots last week. Wesley had a shot at him, missed the tackle, and Elam adds the extra point.
When you throw screen passes, what is so important, I say this all the time, linemen must hit the ground. Tom Nayland to the outside, gets down and knocks the defender right out of the way. It looked like Derek Johnson. So think about it. A big lineman comes out at you. He hits the ground. You're going to get out of the way. And Mike Anderson showing the speed.
This is his longest career reception, 66 yards. And this is the only guy who had a shot of the free safety, Wesley.
Nice cut back.
How big is that touchback now?
Listen, it's a good thing you said that, because it changed everything what the Denver Broncos were going to do. If they would have been on their 4-yard line, maybe Mike Shanahan says, okay, let's change what we were going to come out and let's run the football. Kansas City would have been playing run all the way. But Mike Anderson, known as a power runner and getting the tough yards, but he shows a little movement and avoids Greg Wesley and allows him to go for the touchdown. And Jim, you said it. We could see it in Mike Anderson. You could see it in his body language yesterday. He was still down and still a little upset about the way he ran and the fumble he had last week against the Dallas Cowboys.
Said we won, but I'm not too happy about last week. Shanahan probably tell you it was the worst game he'd ever seen from Mike Anderson in his 6 years. But what a big play on their second snap. Here's Dante Hall. And they have shut him down twice now on returns. Well, tonight CBS presents the powerful true story of Pope John Paul II. Critics say the film can instill joy in human hearts. An epic television event filmed in his homeland and at the Vatican. Pope John Paul II tonight on CBS, America's #1 network.
I'll say one thing about Mike Anderson again. He said last night, and all the Denver players, they were sick of hearing about Kansas City's defense, how it was so great and all the hype. Looking forward to getting out here and changing it.
Fake over to Johnson and instead try to hook up with Dunn. But Courtney Brown almost looked like the intended receiver. Mike Anderson.
Yeah,
and
thank those big guys.
Yeah, that's the perfect gesture.
And those were the two, Tom Nalen and Ben Hamilton, both got out there and got blocks on 2 linebackers that allowed him to get free.
2nd down and 10 for Kansas City. The Chiefs, the first time they had the football, drove it into Denver territory before things broke down. Forced to punt. Now, delay give. Johnson with a good burst. And he's about a yard shy of the first.
You know, just to look at this game, really good start by the Denver Broncos. Mike Shanahan, what do you tell your team? Yeah, we haven't won. We don't win in Kansas City very often. Yeah, they're tough. We beat them bad here. Guys, if you want to be a championship team, you've got to win on the road in some tough environments, and it doesn't get any tougher than here at Arrowhead.
You want to be special, you got to win at Kansas City. And he traced it back, the special Denver teams in history, even prior to Shanahan, as Johnson has the first. The special Super Bowl teams or AFC championship level teams all performed well here at Kansas City. Let's get an update. Let's send it to Greg in New York.
Jim and Phil, what an ending in Miami. The Dolphins with 6 seconds to play. Sage Rosenfeld to Chris Chambers with the extra point. Miami pulls out a 24-23 win over Buffalo.
All right, Greg. Yes, Sage Rosenfeld comes in and leads them back from 23-3 to a win. Back-to-back now. And I'd like to welcome those of you who saw the Ravens win. Here's Dante Hall on the end around. Looked like it might go for big yardage before Ian Gold stood ground in the middle of the field and held him down to 6 yards.
You know what that tells you? Dante Hall had that defense going left or to the defense's right. They're full. He cuts back, but they got speed. Ian Gold again can recover. They recover and only give up 5 or 6 yards.
So 2nd down and 4. Larry Johnson has a chance with his next carry to get 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. In year 3. Here he is. He's at 997. And that will not do it. Just a yard shy of it. Champ Bailey on the hit. Larry Johnson, though, one of the hottest players in the league the second half of the season, as Priest Holmes was, of course, put on the injured reserve list after a wicked hit suffered out at San Diego.
Yeah, Larry Johnson voiced his displeasure. 1st-round draft pick, kind of a surprise. They wanted defense here, but there he is, sitting there when he should have been drafted before. You can't turn a tremendous player like him down. They took him. and look how it's paid off.
It's 3rd down and 2. Wide open. They have Wilson for the first. And Darren Williams finally brings him down at the Denver 41.
We talked about that. Kansas City gives a lot of formations, so you make mistakes on defense, and nobody is covering the tight end outside. And when the play is over, all the Denver players are looking at each other. They're mad because somebody blew an assignment.
So a 1st down for the Chiefs at the 41. Trent Green airing it out long. And down the field intended for Sammy Parker, no flag. I'd like to welcome those of you who saw Miami storm back from 20 down to win for the 2nd straight week. The Dolphins victorious today to improve to 5-7 on the season.
Trent Green is going to get a touchdown, but he can't because he's getting blitzed by John Lynch and Darren Williams. We've done enough Denver games. I've watched enough tape on him. He just keeps getting better. You got him on one side, John Lynch causing a lot of havoc, running around and blitzing, and Champ Bailey on the other. This is a very good secondary.
For those just joining us, Denver scored on its 2nd play of the game, a 66-yard pass to Mike Anderson. Wide open, Dante Hall, touchdown, Kansas City.
And that is a complete blown coverage. Champ Bailey and Nick Ferguson looking at each other. What went wrong? Of course, something went wrong.
And for Trent Green, 364 days since his last touchdown pass in an opening quarter. Had not thrown one in a first quarter in 15 straight games.
That was a good job by Trent Green. Looked one way, threw it back to the other, and nobody there to cover Dante Hall.
Ed Perry to snap it back. Colquitt on the hold, and Tynes ties it. Up and down the field like they were in Pittsburgh earlier today. 7-7.
How does Dante Hall get so wide open? Watch Nick Ferguson come up. John Lynch is here. Nick Ferguson is supposed to be back helping out Champ Bailey. Nobody there, wide open. And we just talked 2 blown assignments by the Broncos secondary in that drive, and it led to the touchdown.
Dante Hall's best games in his career as a receiver have been against Denver, plus the big returns, a punt and a kick for touchdowns the last 2 years. A Bronco killer. And the Broncos field it. It's Veal with the run back. That's it. We've had the big play from both sides. It was Mike Anderson, 66 yards, then Dante Hall, 41.
Beer.
And we're back here in Kansas City, 7-7 in the first quarter. Just the 3rd play from scrimmage for the Broncos, and it's Mike Anderson. Ridden down after a 2-yard gain by Greg Wesley. What about the Broncos when they have the ball today?
Well, we talked about it already a little, Jim. Throw the football early, loosen them up, and then get to your running game. For the KC defense, look, we talked to the coaches, we talked to players. For them, it's about attitude. Just hit them in the mouth. And sometimes it works against them because they're too aggressive, but they've accomplished what they wanted to do this year. Faster and tougher, and they definitely have done both.
2nd down and 8 from the 27. Play action, it's Plummer. Now planting the feet, narrowing it out long to Lee, who's open at the 20 and down at the 17.
What a throw by Jake Plummer. Jim, many weeks ago, we saw him do this exact play against the New England Patriots. Lee to the top of your screen. Everybody is playing the short pass, and it allows him to get down the field. Nobody in the middle. Patrick Surtain cannot keep up, and Jake Plummer doesn't even look for the short receiver.
They get Lee involved after he was shut out by the Cowboys last week. That goes for 56 yards. And on the end around, it's Rod Smith. Warfield has the edge. And he helps make the play along with Kavika Mitchell.
Well, the Broncos have come out 3 pass plays, and every single one has accomplished what they want, picking up good yards. Mike Shanahan, I hear many coaches talk about him. One of the best play callers and absolutely fearless. Not afraid to do the unexpected any time in the game, no matter what the situation. Makes it hard to defend coaches like that.
The run by Smith picked up 6 at 2nd down and 4. And up the middle they go with Anderson getting the first. And it'll be a goal to go from the 4.
Couldn't even tell who had a good ball fake by Jake Plummer inside the 20. How good are the Denver Broncos? 39 trips, 23 touchdowns, 11. That is pretty good stuff.
And by the way, as far as the running back situation for Denver today, Tatum Bell is back. He's healthy, and he will be getting the 2nd string snaps, if you will. Ron Dane, of course, taking his place last week and starring at Dallas. Up the middle they go. Anderson stacked up at the 4. No gain. Wesley and Mitchell double them up.
Well, this Kansas City defense, you're a running back. They have improved their run defense dramatically over the last year. And that time, Kavika Mitchell, as Eric Hicks said, run defense. Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator, it's just a badge of honor. How tough are you? And that's what it comes down to a lot of times.
Well, we just talked about Dane and Bell backing up Anderson, and Dane comes in on this one. 2nd and goal from the 4. They fake to Dane, and Plummer looking, now firing back at the end zone, intercepted. And a kneel down, they'll bring it out to the 20. Patrick Surtain with the interception. Plummer couldn't find anyone open. He threw it in. Jake Plummer with an ill-advised pass attempt, intercepted by Patrick Surtain, and you'll see here in a moment that Eric Warfield, sitting alongside, had a hand in it as well. So they take over at the 20. The Chiefs and the Broncos tied at 7. Green fires. Kinnison has it. 39-yard line, gain of 19. There was a flag on the back end of this, and on the field down for the Broncos is Ebenezer Ekuban. There he is, back on his feet. Tangled up with Jason Dunn for a moment.
During the play, we have personal fouls on both teams. They're 89, Kansas City, 91, Denver. The penalty's offset. We replay first down.
Jim, let's go back to that interception. Jake Plummer, the defense is not fooled. Right away, pull it down. But on the top of your screen, this can happen. Ashley Lee and Patrick Surtain going against each other. You never, oh, the ball is tipped.
Tipped by Warfield.
That's right. You're never sure what the other guy is going to do. And Mike Shanahan, I know, hey, Jake, why are you taking a chance? Well, hindsight is always great, too. Sometimes you just got to try and make a play. Jake Plummer has been tremendous this year, not taking chances that are not warranted.
The offsetting penalties takes away the 19-yard gain. So they replay the down, and Sammy Parker has it for a mere 4 yards. That was only the 5th pass interception thrown by Plummer this year. You can log on to NFL.com every Monday morning and see what Shannon Sharp has to say about the week's action, as only Shannon can. It's all on NFL.com or NFL on AOL. Dante Hall back in the game, and it's 2nd down and 6 for Kansas City. Lynch threatening the blitz. They cross him up. They try to with the run. And Larry Johnson has his 1,000-yard season near the 1st. And that will be his first 1,000-yard season. We asked him on Friday what that would mean to him. It was an interesting answer, really, Phil, because he got into the history of the game. He started rattling off names like Ollie Madsen, Miguel Sayers, Bronco Nagurski. It was very impressive.
You don't think about it, though, Jim. His father, a coach at Penn State, defensive line. He's grown up with football, so he knows a little history, which is great.
Well, they needed to get the first, and he moves the pile to get it. Michael Myers was plugging it, but Johnson would not be denied. He fights for the first down. They'll move the chains.
His size and strength, that's what he can bring for you. Know the situation when you're running back. Don't be fancy when it's 3rd and a foot. He wasn't fancy there. He was just big and tough.
Well, his father is an assistant. Father Larry Sr., he's Penn State's defensive line coach. And Larry would tell you he brought home NFL film footage so often, he said it's almost like Steve Sable was my second father. Final seconds of the first quarter. And on first down, there's another completion over to Dante Hall for another first. Good quarter of action here. Tied at 7. We'll return to Arrow.
Sprint. Sprint. Yes, you can.
Bundle up. The second quarter underway. Getting set to get underway. 15-degree wind chill. That's why you get yourself wrapped in electric blankets.
You would know.
You're over there shivering.
That's okay. Some perception.
From the 45, Trent Green. Good protection. Ball in the air and picked off. It's Champ Bailey with his 7th pick of the season. And down at the 43. Off the fingertips of Gonzalez. And Champ Bailey, well, he had set a new career best for most picks in a season last week against Dallas when he ran one back. We mentioned that Larry Johnson was the offensive player of the month in the AFC, and Champ Bailey of the Broncos was the defensive player of November. And his pick has set up the Broncos at their own 43. And almost returning the favor. Eric Warfield saw that one whiz right by.
Well, Trent Green, on the interception, watch what he does. He's going to look to his left because he's trying to see in front of the pass. That's what you do as a quarterback. Then it's a good decision, but the ball gets away from him. Then next play back, Jake Plummer off target, and Eric Warfield just drops an automatic touchdown. He is gone.
Yeah, that one would have been no doubt all the way. Returned. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the blitz, and Plummer is pummeled by Derek Johnson. The rookie from Texas with his 2nd sack. And it was a punishing blow on Plummer, who somehow got right back on his feet.
Yeah, this is the old Chicago Bear look. And you get a bunch of linebackers to one side. If they blitz, you usually cannot pick it up. So somebody on Denver should have known it. And what a good job by Jake Plummer holding on to football to the sack by Derek Johnson.
Sets up 3rd and 18. And they'll run it with Dane to the 40. And we'll see the punting unit and Todd Sauerbrunn take the field.
That's what you do. Crowd noise. The defense is emotional right now. Run the football and punt it and play field position. Mike Shanahan said it to us, and I know he means it. You cannot fall behind by 2 scores here in Arrowhead because communication with the crowd noise is non-existent.
Unable to make anything of the interception. They'll return the football to the Chiefs, and Dante Hall is back there. You know what that means. And a return opportunity for Dante Hall. Past Chuck Wara. And then Brandon forces him out at the 28. So each team gives up an early big play. Their defenses respond, though, with interceptions on each side. First down for Kansas City. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Bonnie Bernstein at Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs have not lost a home game in December in the last 16 games. For 10 years, they don't lose in December at home. Harry Johnson with a flag down, unable to find any room as Al Wilson grabs a hold of him, but we'll check the flag.
Offside. Number 27 defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That time lined up offside. That's 3 times already. And Tuesday on America's #1 network, CBS presents some of the most beautiful women in the world, modeling fashions like you've never seen before. Tyra Banks, Heidi Klum, and the leading supermodels on Victoria's Secret Fashion Show Tuesday on CBS America's #1 network. First down and 5 after the infraction on the Broncos. Play action. Green to Kinnison. Has the catch at the 30. Ridden down by Foxworth at the 15. Kansas City strikes for a big one.
We said in the first time they played 10 weeks ago, Trent Green could not get the protection to take advantage of some shots down the field. Eddie Kinnison goes down the field, fakes the outside route, and boy, does he fool Dominique Foxworth. Watch the route, and it's well run. Sell it, turn up the field. Trent Green right on the money with the throw.
Kinnison for 54 yards. He has had 100-yard receiving games the last 3 times against the Broncos, his old team. Of course, an unhappy parting of the ways there as Trent Green calls the timeout. Season-long gain for Kinnison. Sets up Kansas action later. Some will see Kentucky, Indiana, or Oklahoma State, Gonzaga, as the Chiefs now have it 1st and 10 from the 15. And it's Larry Johnson running the right side for about 5, and he refuses to go down. Now, that first meeting out in Denver on a Monday night, won by the Broncos 30-10. The Chiefs were without their starting tackles, Rofe and Welburn.
And it affected everything they did, Jim. This team is built around the offensive line, and they could not take those deep drops and allow the receivers like Eddie Kinnison to make those double moves and get down the field. They're a power-running football team and a down-the-field passing team. You need your tackles to do both.
2nd down and 5. Green steps back to reset with 5 on the play clock. Looking like an option play, almost like a busted play, but Trent Green dives out near the 1.
Well, the Kansas City offense, they do not get the communication. Trent Green thinks it's a blitz, which it was, tried to change the play. Oh, there's nobody to hand it to. I got to run.
He almost got there. Gains 8 yards on the busted play.
You know why he almost got there, don't you? Fear. Makes you run fast. But that was a good job by Trent Green.
1st and goal at the 2. Who else but Larry Johnson into the pile and squirts ahead for 1. Courtney Brown got him by the ankles.
Boy, Courtney Brown and Ian Gold, so far, they've been everywhere for the defense. We've talked many times about the defensive linemen. All of them come from Cleveland. A gamble by the Broncos that has worked out well.
Jordan Black on the left side, number 65, in as an eligible receiver. Back to Johnson and unable to get any gain at all. Veal and others surround Johnson. And 3rd and goal coming up.
Just look at this Denver Broncos defensive line from behind. Veal, 97, right in the middle. Oh, that's it. Just throw them everywhere, and they penetrate. They go, their defense lines up, and they either run fast to the right or to the left. Everybody has a spot. That's how they get you in the backfield.
65!
What will they do on 3rd and go? Back to Johnson again, perhaps? They just brought in Bailey and Foxworth for reinforcement. Straight ahead, and there's the signal. Touchdown, Kansas City. For Johnson, his 10th rushing touchdown of the year.
I think you predicted the play right, Jim. You got a good offensive line. You got a running back who can run in tough situations. Don't be cute. Don't try to go outside. Go right at him.
And once they broke up the pile, Larry Johnson and Ian Gold of Denver had a little verbal exchange. We'll keep an eye on that. Little matchup the rest of the way. Timed with the extra point. And that's now 14 unanswered for Kansas City. Johnson puts the Chiefs in front, 14-7.
Every kiss begins with K. And by the Ford F-150. Built Ford tough.
We're back at Arrowhead, and the Broncos trail for the first time in any game since October 23rd at the New York Giants, when the Giants beat them with seconds to go on a pass to Amani Toomer. One of only 2 setbacks on the entire year for Denver. Losses at Miami on the opener and at New York. From the 8, Darren Williams sidesteps the first pressure. Gets past 4 Chiefs and is bounced out. A beautiful run back by the rookie. 36-yard run back, but the Chiefs have taken the lead. Kennison set it up. Goes break huddle, down by 7. They've rushed for 21 yards to this point in the game. They're second in the league in rushing. And eclipsed 200 in the first matchup. It's Mike Anderson back in the lineup. And he fights with a feisty 6-yard run. And you can visit CBS Sportsline tonight for a complete wrap-up of all the day's action with a web-exclusive post-game show, in-depth analysis from experts like Clark Judge and Pete Prisco, all on CBSSportsline.com. Now, this is kind of an interesting issue about when Kansas City has last allowed a 100-yard individual rusher, 18 games without. However, Denver wasn't all that impressed because they beat them up collectively, again, for just north of 200 in their first meeting. And there's Anderson. There's a good rush and a first down.
Well, Mike Anderson, you said at the play before, he fights for 6 yards because that's what he did. And that's what Mike Anderson is about. And Jim, you told everybody he's upset about the way he played last week. Mike Shanahan loved it. He loves this situation. He has it running back. Ron Dayne is now in. He knows he has 3 guys that are fighting for playing time. So when they get in, they go all out and they get the tough yards because you don't know when your next chance is coming. Interesting,
it's Dayne in there now. It has not been Bell as the backup, what we expected after meeting with the Broncos. And a little tight end screen with Putzier bouncing around right near the first down. You've got Anderson, you got Bell, over 600 yards on the season, averaging an incredible 6 yards a carry, best in the league. And then Ron Dayne, who had most of that yardage, 98 of the 151 in the game against the Cowboys.
And Mike Shanahan said, he goes, look, Ron Dayne's going to play today. He has earned the right to get a few carries just off what he did Thanksgiving Day.
2nd down and 1. And it's Dayne with the first with ease. Of course, he had 98 yards, did Dayne, but the majority of that, 55 yards, came on one carry that really set up the win. He had the touchdown run, and then there's just a couple of plays into the overtime, 55 yards to set up the Elam winner.
Well, they were both impressive. Week as he made people miss and he broke tackles.
It's Dayne, and he's able to move ahead to the 25. It looked like he'd be stopped rather quickly. Ryan Sims on the hit. One last thing about that cobbler. You made the comment last week that your mom's a good cook. You knew it because all your family members are overweight.
Well, my brothers, not my sisters.
How did that go over, by the way?
I might take a beating when I go back to Kentucky, but it's okay.
I guess.
Yeah, it's all right. But Ron Dayne, Jim, just to go back, Mike Shanahan probably brought him in instead of Tatum Bell because it's rough right now. It's physical, and maybe he can handle that a little better than Tatum Bell.
2nd down and 4, and it's Anderson for only a yard. Running right into Kavika Mitchell. Coming up, got the Sprint halftime report. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer with all the scores from this important rivalry day in the NFL. Scores and highlights all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. So Ryan Sims is back in for the Kansas City defense. First time since getting injured in the opener against the Jets. He sprained his right foot and was out for the last 10 games. Number 90. Third and short, and Plummer spins away, finds an open man, and what an effort by Plummer to stay on his feet and find Putzier for the first.
That is exactly what it was. The blitz by the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's picked up. Derek Johnson, Mike Anderson gets Kavika Mitchell, drives him out of the way, and Jake Plummer stays alive, and what a good job. Falling down and slings it sidearm out there for the first down.
Again, alternating the running backs. Ron Dane returns. Putzier with 2 catches on this series. And it's Dane, left side, and nowhere to go. They'll set him back a yard. Lionel Dalton with the first smack, and helmets are flying.
Well, this just goes back to what we said. This Kansas City defense, they just keep talking about, just keep hitting the other team. And that's what this game is about. Ron Dane's helmet comes off, almost gets knocked off. Well, yeah, there's a little help. Jared Allen, the sack master, pulls it off, but the Chiefs believe if you keep hitting them and you hit them hard enough, they lose their will. And that's what they try to do.
Second and 11. Over to Rod Smith, and he's 1 yard short of the first. Jared Allen and Eric Warfield both on the hit. Allen dropping back to make a tackle from the defensive line.
Jake Plummer, quick drop, rhythm, throw it in rhythm, out there, short throw. We talked about it last week in Dallas. The Broncos are very good at getting rid of the football on the quick passing game, and they hit a high percentage. Now it makes his third down a lot easier to pick up.
Third and just a yard. Fake to Anderson, now rolling again. He got picked on this last time, but he'll run for it, and he slides in. Plummer with the touchdown. Kyle Johnson with a huge block to open it up for the quarterback.
You said it. Kyle Johnson is the primary receiver. He is not open. He right away makes the decision, to heck with it. Let me block the guys that are covering me. Here comes number 39 at you. The defense not fooled. Now he turns, seals it off, and gets 2 defenders. And Jake Plummer, the man's got some speed, gets in there for the touchdown.
He was safe at the plate.
Well, he wasn't going to throw one into coverage that time.
No. Now there's a challenge flag thrown from the Kansas City sideline.
Did Jake Plummer start his slide? He went feet first. That means he gave up, and wherever he hits the ground is where it's going to be marked. He does not have to be touched. So Dick Vermeil is challenging the spot of the football.
It's been a tough year of challenges for Kansas City and Dick Vermeil. They have not won a challenge the whole season.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling on the field that is a touchdown. Quarterback sliding is their contention. We'll review the play.
Well, it's going to be a first down regardless. Let's see. And
short.
It's close. We'll get the answer in a moment.
Sponsor of the American Dream. And by IBM. Become an on-demand business. IBM can help.
Back at Arrowhead, they continue to review. Now they're ready to come out from under the hood. Will it be a touchdown or a first down?
After reviewing the play, the quarterback did give himself up. When he slid, his knee hit. The ball was at about the half-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the half-yard line.
All right, Mr. Sims.
I was right. You were wrong, Jim. Feet first means you are giving up, and as soon as any part of your body besides your feet or your hands hit the ground, you are down.
That's the first time all season.
Of course, you didn't make it public that you said he was in, but I just thought I'd let everybody know.
You know, though, for Kansas City, again, that's the first time they won a challenge on the whole year after 0 for 5 to this point. But Just a short distance to go here with Anderson, the tailback, Johnson, the fullback. Plummer fires it over the head of Kyle Johnson.
He could have taken his time. They were going to come open. But go back real quick. You say, is it worth the challenge because you're on the half-yard line? And my answer is absolutely. When it deals with points, you try to take them off the board. You never know. Fumble the snap, a penalty, crowd noise, a false start. There's a lot of things that can stop Denver from scoring.
2nd and goal. This time it's Anderson. And he drives and drives, and he is in. Touchdown, Denver. Greg Wesley says no, he wasn't in.
Let's get a look at it and see if he makes it. Lowers his head. He's underneath the pile. It is very close. I don't know if Dick Vermeil is willing to take another challenge to find out.
Elam makes it 14-all. The Denver offense struck early with the big play. This time they pick it up little chunks at a time and find. Tonight on 60 Minutes, even Howard Stern's biggest fans may be surprised when they hear what he says to Ed Bradley. Plus the bird flu. Is it really coming? 60 Minutes tonight on America's #1 network. Jake Plummer had one big play on that series, didn't he? That 3rd down scramble, getting away from the pressure.
Sometimes you just got to make a play, and that's what he has done this year. That won't be looked upon by anybody unless you're here, by the coaches in your team. That little scramble, throwing it sidearm out to the flat, kept the drive going, and it led to a touchdown.
Sauerbrunn to kick it away to Dante Hall with the game tied at 14. Ball fields it on the run. And with that running start and spin move, he is out near the 40. Excellent starting point for the Chiefs. Jerome Cox on the hit. Thursday, America's #1 reality show, Survivor, kicks off with 2 intense challenges. Find out who makes it to the Final Four, because 1 week from tonight, who will take home the $1 million prize? You'll see it a week from now live in the season finale. It's all right here, Survivor Week on CBS, America's #1 network. Gary Hogeboom, we talked about him for a while, but he lost on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, he made a good showing, and we know they were just jealous. NFL player.
Yeah.
It was biased.
You guys, you have it so tough.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I'm feeling for you. Here we go. 1st down. Trent Green. Beautiful strike to Kennison. And tackled at the Denver 35.
Well, the Denver Broncos, they were almost expecting pass. They are bringing in Sam Brandon, an extra defensive back, to go against Tony Gonzalez, and he's doing a good job. But look at Kennison. And a nice throw by Trent Green. Trent Green, his arm looks rested. He has a lot of velocity on it, and he got a couple days off. And those couple days off over the last couple weeks has really proven to be very valuable to him throwing the football.
Kennison up to 81 yards receiving on 2 grabs. This time it's over to Parker for another first at the 20.
And you hear it so often, but when a defense is thinking you're going to run the football, that means on the outside, you're just going to have a wide receiver against 1 defensive back. Nobody in the way of the throw. And Darren Williams, you got to be careful. Sammy Parker, he's fast. He could run right by you, so you give him some room. Trent Green makes an easy completion.
Trent Green's going to let this run down to the 2-minute mark. With the game tied at 14, it's like the old AFL West days here. Shootout in Kansas City.
Don't miss Pope John Paul II, CBS Tonight.
2 minutes to go in the half, and each team with a pair of touchdowns. Denver's 2nd play of the day. Anderson, 66 yards on the screen. Right back Chiefs, 41 yards to Hall. Larry Johnson from a yard out, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. And then Mike Anderson got his 1-yard plunge to knot it at 14, but the Chiefs right back on the drive. First down and 10 from the Denver 20. They fake to Johnson. To the end zone, over the head of Kennison.
Had him wide open again. The pass protection and the time Trent Green is getting. When you form a pocket around Trent Green and he takes those deep drops, the Denver Broncos, they know it too, that he's going to find the open receiver and usually put it on the money. Fake the play action, roll away from it. Eddie Kennison just sprinting up the field and actually beats two guys that were going to try to cover him.
Willie Rofe, you saw him at the line. He certainly sealed Trevor Price. Tony Gonzalez without a catch to this point. And there's a flag. It's against the Chiefs. Sammy Parker, and it will not matter as good an effort as it is.
Turned up too quick.
Illegal motion. Number 87 was going forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's Eddie Kennison, number 87, in motion. Absolutely. And then a bad mistake by some of the Denver players. Just because there's a penalty, never be sure. Yeah. Don't stop.
Darren Williams was doing a little officiating out there.
Boy, you know, these officials, they'll miss it sometimes.
That's the first Kansas City penalty of the game.
What a difference watching this Chiefs offense compared to 10 weeks ago when they played Denver.
Dante Hall on a slot. Now they move him in motion. Second down and 15 to the end zone. There's Gonzalez. He has it. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Tell you what, that was another tremendous throw by Trent Green. He looked left forever. Darren Williams lets him go. Champ Bailey comes in, and he just mistimes it by a fraction and not knocking it down. And Tony Gonzalez, it's hard to go around that big body, gets the touchdown catch.
His first catch of the game goes for the touchdown. Tynes adds a third extra point for a 21-14 lead. Kansas City.
Trent Green is going to drop back. He wants to throw this football to the left. Good play action fake. He looks left, nothing. Oh man, resets his feet and then throws it with everything he's got right on line to Tony Gonzalez. And what ruined this play for the Denver defense, Tony Gonzalez was not even touched at the line of scrimmage. And he's at the top of your screen. Watch Darren Williams is who in front of him. Just lets him go free, and look at the space that he has. And Trent Green sees it and makes a good throw. Boy, what a just what they want. Run the football, and they are throwing it deep.
Well, Green has 4 passes over 20 yards in the game. He's 3 yards shy of 200 with a pair of touchdown tosses. The run back out to the 32-yard line. That's Cecil Sapp. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. Greg and the gang back in Studio 43, and they'll take you through the early action, update you on the late games. Jets and New England are tied 3-3 late in the second quarter. And you'll have all the full story on today's happenings coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
I'm sure that's a good game, but you know what? Right now, this one's better.
Yeah, I'm glad we're here.
It's exciting.
Tatum Bell in for the first time, and he's at the top of the screen, lined up far to the left as a receiver. But across the middle they go, and the whammy hit on Rod Smith by Kavika Mitchell. Derek Johnson also had a hold of him, gain of 8.
you just say whammy?
Is that okay?
It's all right.
Again, Bell as a receiver. Back to Smith on the slant, and it's jarred loose by Derek Johnson. So 3rd and 2 as the Broncos were trying to speed it up the field, but now suddenly they find themselves in a 3rd and short situation. In danger of giving the ball right back to the Chiefs. Each team with 2 timeouts. Charlie Adams has come in. Bell in the backfield. Plummer finds Putzier. Open space to the 30, and that's it for Jeb Putzier. That almost looked like a broken play, Phil.
You know why? Because it was. I don't know if he was even in it, but Jake Plummer, once again, nothing there, making something happen, and it's a big first down for Denver.
32 yards, time.
First off, Tatum Bell goes the wrong way, and here's Jeb Putzier on the end of the line of scrimmage. He's just blocking to give Jake Plummer some time. The play breaks down, Jake Plummer spots him, and then he picks up 32 yards after the catch.
He had the biggest average per reception of all tight ends in the league last year. Putzier 32 big yards this time, and they go right back to him. This one just a short gain of 4. And hurry back to the line to preserve the 1 timeout they have. 2nd down and 6 from the 25. On the run, it's Rod Smith stepping out at the 7.
I was watching the receivers down the field. Nobody is moving. Finally, Rod Smith changes his route. Everybody's covered, and Rod Smith at the last second, bottom of your screen, takes off and gets open.
But you know, again, nifty footwork by the quarterback, because Eric Hicks looked like he might have a play on Plummer, but he dodged him and was able to get free to be able to fire it to Smith and set up a goal-to-go situation at the 7.
Jake Plummer, tremendous feet in the pocket so far today.
Now to the end zone, lobs it incomplete. It looked like Lee liked the positioning he had. Hendrick Surtain already with an end zone interception in the first half.
Yeah, this is Lee is in good position, but Surtain is not full. There's no way it's going to be completed.
They bring in Todd DeVoe and Adams. Smith. Plummer's lined up wide to the left.
Van Pelt at quarterback.
Van Pelt takes it up the middle, and he's in. His first snap of the season. Plummer had taken every snap before this one. They sent Plummer out to the left as a receiver, and it completely fooled everybody.
Oh, you see Bradley Van Pelt come in the game. You got to think and know it's going to be a run. Here he is. Plummer's at the top of the screen. Jake Plummer, nothing to do. Bradley Van Pelt, nobody on defense expecting the run. Mike Shanahan loves the quarterback draw inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, do they answer back quickly. And what a play they drew up. I haven't seen a number 11 run the football like this since Phil Simms was playing for the Giants.
Well, Van Pelt comes in at quarterback. It's really just not a quarterback draw. It's a running play. Tom Nalen comes up, gets the block on Derek Johnson inside. Cooper Carlisle gets a good block coming to the right. Oh, nice. Derek Johnson goes underneath. And you bring in this situation. Why you bring in Van Pelt? He's bigger, he's stronger. You spread the field. And if it got tough inside, you wouldn't want to take that chance with Jake Plummer and get him hurt. Not that you want Van Pelt to get hurt, but that's what he is. He's part running back, and that's one of the big reasons why he is the backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
They only carry the 2 quarterbacks. They don't carry a third, and it's the first time anyone other than Plummer took a snap this season. Dante Hall Fumbles the football, and DeVoe of Denver is right there to capture it. Sam Brandon may have been the one to knock it loose. And look at this, with a timeout and 15 seconds to operate. Denver set up at the 43 of KC.
What a turnaround. Dante Hall, once again, when he gets the football in his hands, look at all the movement. Fake, coming back and forth. So tough to bring down. And Sam Brandon, just good hustle, hits it from behind. You're not expecting it.
Now let's see what they can do for Elam for his purposes.
I'd say they need about 15 yards for him to be in field goal range.
Kansas City may have jumped. Or were they drawn? Jared Allen anxious to get back.
False start, number 50 offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Ben Hamilton on that line.
Well, we've been talking, you and I, we talked about, hey, the defense is here, the defense that, and look what we got going on. The defenses they're shook up. React and hope the offense makes a mistake.
They run it with Anderson. Now and ahead, and he is in field goal range to the 34. Cooper Carlisle with a key block, and Elam's coming out to attempt one outside of 50. Well, Mike Shanahan on second thought is not going to bring out Elam yet. He has 9 seconds, no timeouts. Wants to get a little closer with a little sideline route.
Well, if the Kansas City Chiefs don't put almost all their defenders on the sideline, then they're making a mistake. Why you run this play, which you should, a 53 or 52-yard field goal is going to be tough, but you make the Chiefs defense line up and show you they're going to take away the quick route.
They send Anderson out as a receiver. Pressure on Plummer, has to unload, sideline pass, incomplete. And now they'll have to go ahead and play the odds, you would think, and let Elam, with the big leg that he has, he's already this season kicked one from 51 yards. Well, nope. And you know what? I think this might have something to do with the fact that Elam has had a little bit of an issue with a calf on the plant foot.
Yes, and I watched him kick during warm-ups, Jim. There's a little breeze into the Broncos' face. It's cold. The football was not going very far by either field goal kicker during warm-ups.
Left leg, I should say. The calf has been. How about this call with Anderson running it to end the half? What was that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thrown it into the end zone at least one throw there. So I don't know if Mike Shanahan was unhappy about the play or what, but
the 34-yard line, you got a chance to toss one into the end zone, you think.
You always got to take that chance because you could get a foul or somebody get lucky and catch it.
Let's go down to Bonnie.
Well, Dick, your offense is getting a lot more power than you did in the Monday night game at Denver.
Well, we're blocking better. You know, we have our tackles here, but right now we have to quit trading big plays. We make big plays, they make big plays, you know, and we thought coming in it would be the kind of game that's going to go right down to the last play, and it might end up.
You might be right.
Yeah, we just got to quit trading. We've got to get the edge on our side.
Coach, thanks.
It's 21-all at halftime. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report.